What is the appeal to schoolgirls? You know, well-educated schoolgirls like these, very successful ones. What is the appeal when it comes to Islamic State?
Well, a lot of these girls are being socially groomed. They're being groomed on social media, and the appeal is that many of them are disillusioned. You know, they're a bit bored. They go on social media and they see, you know, it's a bit of groupthink going on as well, as we've seen there are 3 girls flying out together. And so the appeal is that they feel like they're joining an ideological cause, that they're going to make some kind of difference in the world. And as we've seen, that is certainly not the case with many of the reports our foundation has published too. The lives of these girls, once they reach the Islamic State, is nothing at all like they expect.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because they're referred to often as jihadi brides, which sounds quite a benign role in many ways. But from what you're saying and from what we've heard elsewhere, it sounds very much as if these girls, when they go out, themselves become recruiters and themselves, in some ways, become involved in the grooming of girls elsewhere.
Absolutely. I feel there are 2 things to touch on here. The first is that a lot of these girls who go out there, and we've seen it in social media, think that they're going to be in the front lines and helping in the war in some way. But that's certainly not the case. They're confined to their houses and they're not allowed to leave, sometimes without a companion. And so they take to social media, they engage in conversations, and then they help in radicalizing other young girls and young people to come and join them. And so they have that role to play once they reach there. And so we have to work on trying to understand how to counter that and how to stop young people from going and joining them.
And how do you do that? I mean, you mentioned their social media being key to all of this. How do you engage with that to actually work with these girls?
Well, many countries have started media campaigns to counter it. They've started to release videos online to show the reality of the situation. And of course, to try to counter it, we have more approaches in the sense that you can have other young people talking about their experiences and how bad it is out there, translation of key documents, like we've done with the Al-Khansa Brigade's manifesto, to show that the reality out there is not at all what they think it is through social media.
Do you think there's been a little bit of misdirection of resources when it comes to tackling extremism? Have we looked too much at young men in particular, perhaps ignored women and the fact that they could be drawn into this as well?
Absolutely. I think the fighter narrative that you know, young men and profiling them in a particular way has tended to ignore other people who might be going and joining these movements, and also the role that women play once they reach there, in the sense that, as you mentioned, they go on and they groom other people or they engage in social media, and they're important actors in that respect as well. So really we need to expand our focus on who is going and joining this cause or these movements in the Islamic State.
And on the ground, has the government got it right? Because it might be surprising for some to think, well, actually these girls can just get on a plane, go to Turkey, which we know is quite a common route for girls who are taking these options, and then go on from there. Surely we should have officials perhaps on the ground there.
Absolutely. I mean, one question I found myself asking was, how are these young girls able to go to the airport without a companion? I mean, they're underage. How are they not tracked? Now we have a lot of information on what they look like, but the fact that they're going to Turkey, now it becomes Turkey's responsibility to return them to the United Kingdom or to stop them from going out there. When really I feel if there was more engagement by schools and communities, perhaps we could have spotted this radicalization before it had reached a stage that they're actually leaving the country.
Okay, great to talk to you. Thanks for joining us on Sky News tonight.
Thank you.